Fluent, period. The silent struggle, the hidden frustration, that moment when your mind freezes when you try to speak English. You know the feeling, don't you? It's like a mental fog descends, trapping your thoughts, forcing them through a translator in your head before they can ever become words. You're not alone. Billions of people around the globe face this invisible barrier, this unspoken truth, the constant, exhausting battle of translating everything from your native language into English, word by painful word. But what if I told you there's a different path? What if there's a way to silence that internal translator, to bypass the mental gymnastics, and to simply think in English? A way to unlock the dormant power of your mind, forging direct pathways between thought and expression, just like native speakers do. For too long, the traditional methods have kept you tethered to this translation trap. But today we're going to break those chains. Today we're unveiling 5 forbidden methods, 5 powerful techniques that will rewire your brain, transforming it into an English-first thinking machine. This isn't about memorizing more vocabulary lists or drilling grammar rules. This is about building an English brain, a system so intuitive, so natural, that you'll wonder how you ever spoke any other way. And before we dive into these transformative secrets, understand this. The journey to true fluency isn't just about what you say, but how you think. And to help you on this path, we've prepared a crucial tool, a free PDF revealing the 50 most common, often overlooked, expressions native English speakers use every single day. Stick with us until the end, and you'll find out how to claim this key to unlocking authentic English. Prepare to abandon the old ways. Prepare to build your English brain. Hashtag, 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 the mind's labyrinth. Forging unbreakable thought chains. Let's delve into our first secret, a technique so deceptively simple, yet profoundly powerful, that it will revolutionize your internal monologue, creating thought chains. You might be asking yourself, what exactly is a thought chain? Is it some complex psychological exercise? A cryptic mental puzzle? Quite the opposite. Imagine your brain not as a rigid filing cabinet, but as a vast, interconnected web. Every word, every concept, every memory is a node in this web, linked by invisible threads of association. A thought chain is simply the act of consciously tracing these threads, allowing your mind to flow naturally from one English word to the next, based on pure association, without the interference of translation. Let's try it. If I whisper the word ocean, what images, what concepts, what other words spring to mind? Perhaps beach, then sand, then summer, then vacation, then passport, then airport, then travel. Notice how each word isn't a direct synonym of the last, but rather a natural, logical, or even emotional connection. This isn't about perfectly structured sentences. It's about freeing your mind to make those raw, unfiltered English connections. Why is this so potent? Because the enemy of natural English thinking is that incessant internal translator. Every time you try to speak, your brain often defaults to constructing a sentence in your native language, then painstakingly converting each word. This process is slow, clunky, and utterly unnatural. Thought chains, however, train your brain to bypass this intermediary step. They teach your mind to leap directly from one English concept to another, mirroring the effortless mental agility of a native speaker. Think about it. When a native speaker hears coffee, their brain doesn't think cafe in their native tongue, then translate it to coffee. It immediately connects coffee to morning ritual, Starbucks, energy, work, meetings, late nights, friend catch-up, or that amazing smell. These connections are instant, visceral, and purely English. And with thought chains, you begin to build those same direct neurological pathways. The initial hurdle you might fear is that your brain will get stuck. It might insist on translating. This is natural. It's like a muscle that hasn't been exercised in this specific way before. But here's the trick. Don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about getting stuck. The goal is simply to start the chain. How do you practice this? It's simple and can be done anywhere. Start with a single word. Let's say weather. What comes next? Zen. Then clouds. gray, cold, jacket, winter, snow, skiing, mountains, nature, trees, green, spring, flowers, warmth, sun, happiness. You see, the chain can branch and weave, reflecting the organic flow of your own thoughts. If you're out and about, you can do this silently in your head. But for a more tangible practice, try writing it down. Take a piece of paper, write one word in the center, and then draw lines connecting it to all the related words that come to mind. It's like creating a mental map of your English lexicon. The visual act helps solidify these connections. And here's a powerful, community-driven way to reinforce this. You can practice in the comment section of our videos. Start a chain with a word we provide, or even a word of your own, and let your thoughts spill out. No pressure, no judgment, just pure English connection. You might even find others adding to your chain, creating a collaborative mental workout that solidifies these pathways for everyone. This practice isn't just about vocabulary expansion. It's about building a framework for fluid thinking. The more you connect words and concepts without the translation step, the more comfortable and agile your brain becomes in the English environment. It's a mental workout that strengthens your cognitive muscles, allowing you to think faster, speak more naturally, and ultimately break free from the translation trap. So, here's your first challenge, your initiation into the English brain philosophy. Start right now, silently, or in the comments, with the word future. What thought chain can you forge from it? Unleash your mind. We're eager to witness the intricate web of ideas you create. Remember, the goal is fluid motion, not perfection. The more you surrender to this flow, the easier it gets. Keep those thought chains forging. Hashtag the ghost in the machine. Activating your English autopilot. Now, for a second secret, a method designed to banish those agonizing moments of silence when your mind goes completely blank in an English conversation. We call it building an English autopilot. Have you ever been in the middle of a lively discussion, understanding every word, formulating your response in your head, and then, when it's your turn to speak, nothing? Just a frustrating, deafening silence. All you can manage are nervous nods, or the universal, yeah, or I don't know. It's infuriating, isn't it? It feels like your brain suddenly decided to go on vacation, leaving you stranded in linguistic limbo. This isn't a sign of weakness. It's a symptom of an untrained system. Your brain, accustomed to the comfort of its native tongue, hasn't yet built the automatic reflexes for English. But here's the revelation. You can train it. You can program your brain to automatically deploy useful, natural-sounding English phrases without a second thought. This is your English autopilot. Think about driving a car. When you first learned, every action was conscious. Clutch in, shift gear, clutch out, gas pedal. Now, for most experienced drivers, these actions are automatic, a seamless ballet of muscle memory and unconscious decisions. Your English brain can achieve the same level of automaticity. The core principle is simple. Memorize and internalize default responses. These are short, common phrases that native speakers use constantly, almost without thinking, to fill conversational gaps, acknowledge statements, buy time, or express basic reactions. Imagine someone says something surprising. Instead of scrambling for a complex response, your autopilot instantly deploys. That's interesting, or oh really, or wow. If you need a moment to process a question, your autopilot provides, let me think about that for a second, or that's a good question. If you don't quite understand, instead of a blank stare, you have, could you clarify that? Or what do you mean by that? These aren't just filler words. They're the oil in the gears of natural conversation. They keep the dialogue flowing, make you sound more engaged, and most importantly, buy your brain precious seconds to formulate a more elaborate response in English without the pressure of immediate silence. The beauty of this method lies in repetition. By consistently exposing your brain to these phrases, by actively practicing them, you create strong neural pathways. They move from conscious effort to unconscious reflex. It's not about thinking of the phrase. It's about the phrase appearing in your mind as soon as the situation arises. It becomes muscle memory for your tongue, an instant reaction for your brain. Start small. Focus on 5 to 10 simple, high-frequency default responses. Practice them in your head. Practice them out loud when you're alone. Anticipate situations where you might use them. For acknowledgement. That's interesting. Oh, really? I see. Got it. Absolutely. For buying time. Let me think about that. That's a good point. I hadn't considered that. For clarification. Could you explain that further? What exactly do you mean by X? I'm not sure I follow. Once these short, foundational responses are ingrained, you can graduate to slightly longer, more complex sentence structures. These are like slightly more advanced autopilot settings. For expressing opinion tentatively, I tend to think that my initial thought is for politely disagreeing. I hear what you're saying, but I respectfully disagree. For offering solutions, perhaps we could try. What if we considered, the more you practice, the quicker your brain will react. This isn't just about sounding more fluent. It's about feeling more fluent. It's about regaining control over those conversational moments that previously felt like an uphill battle. Now, here's a crucial resource for this journey. We understand the power of having these tools at your fingertips. That's why we've compiled a meticulously curated free PDF with the top 50 default responses that native speakers use every single day. This isn't just a list. It's your tactical guide, your cheat sheet to instant fluency, designed to embed these phrases deep within your English brain. You can download it through the link we'll share at the end of this episode. But why wait? To ensure you never miss out on these powerful, hidden resources, the kind of tools that truly accelerate your learning, make sure you've hit that subscribe button right now. Don't let yourself be a passive observer of fluency. Become an active participant in building your English brain. Join our community of dedicated learners who are constantly seeking to decode the mysteries of natural English. Your subscription is your commitment to mastery, ensuring you're always equipped with the latest insights and free guides that others simply won't find. Start integrating these autopilot phrases into your internal monologue in your daily interactions. Watch how quickly your confidence soars, and how those moments of agonizing silence transform into seamless, natural English responses. Your brain is a powerful machine. It's time to program it for effortless communication. #### whispers of meaning. Mastering the art of metaphor. Let's venture into our third secret, one that will elevate your English from merely functional to truly captivating. Speaking in metaphors or analogies. Have you ever heard a native speaker describe something in such a vivid, imaginative way that it instantly painted a picture in your mind? They didn't just state facts, they created a feeling. That's the power of metaphor. Too often, English learners focus on direct translation, on finding the precise word for every concept. While accuracy is important, true fluency transcends mere vocabulary. It embraces the art of indirect expression, using comparisons to imbue your language with depth, color, and persuasive power. When you speak metaphorically, you're not just describing, you're explaining in a more creative and engaging way. You're using the familiar to illuminate the unfamiliar. Instead of simply stating it's hot, a native speaker might say, "It feels like I'm in a sauna," or "The sun is a relentless hammer today," or "The air is thick with heat." Each phrase conveys the same core idea, but with vastly different emotional and sensory impact. They create an immersive experience for the listener. Why is this a crucial step in building your English brain? Because it forces your mind to think in bigger ideas and concepts, not just individual words. It trains you to see connections, patterns, and relationships between disparate things. It's an exercise in abstract thought, which is a hallmark of advanced language proficiency. Your brain shifts from a simple word-to-word conveyor belt to a dynamic canvas where ideas can be sculpted and painted. Consider this. Instead of saying, "I'm very busy," which is perfectly correct but somewhat bland, you could say, "I'm juggling 10 things at once," or "My plate is full," or "I'm drowning in work." Each of these metaphors communicates not just the state of being busy, but also the feeling associated with it, the pressure, the overwhelm, the frantic pace. They don't just inform, they resonate. Native speakers do this instinctively. Their minds are constantly seeking these conceptual shortcuts, these vivid comparisons, to make their communication more efficient and impactful. By practicing metaphors, you're tapping into this inherent human ability, but you're doing it in English. This expands your vocabulary in a dynamic, contextual way and simultaneously cultivates your imagination within the English framework. The incredible side effect: you will sound undeniably more fluent. The ability to describe things in multiple, imaginative ways signals a deep understanding of the language, an agility that goes beyond basic grammar. It shows that you're not just translating words, but truly thinking and feeling in English. When you encounter a similar situation next time, your brain will have already built those metaphorical bridges, allowing you to respond faster and with greater naturalness. This technique also empowers you to express nuances that might be difficult with literal translations. Sometimes, a direct translation simply doesn't capture the full essence of what you want to say. A metaphor, however, can bridge that gap, conveying cultural context, emotion, or a subtle shade of meaning that would otherwise be lost. So, how do you cultivate this skill? Start by observing. Pay attention to the metaphors and analogies native speakers use in movies, books, and conversations. Don't just understand them, feel them. Then, challenge yourself to integrate them into your own speech. Here's your next challenge, a creative exercise for your developing English brain. Throughout your day, pick one ordinary situation or feeling and try to describe it using a metaphor or an analogy. Instead of, "I am confused," try, "My mind is a tangled knot," or "I feel like I'm swimming in circles." "The meeting was boring," try, "The meeting dragged on like a snail," or "It was like watching paint dry." "I'm feeling happy," try, "I'm walking on sunshine," or "My heart is singing." "That task was difficult," try, "It was an uphill battle," or "It felt like climbing Mount Everest." Don't be afraid to experiment, to be a little imaginative, even a little silly. English is rich with playful expressions, and by creating your own, you make the language truly yours. The more you consciously use metaphors, the more they will naturally surface in your thoughts and speech. You're adding a vibrant palette to your English, allowing you to express yourself more clearly, compellingly, and authentically. Unlock the whispers of meaning and let your English truly sing. Hashtag the inner monologue, reclaiming your emotional landscape in English. We now arrive at our fourth secret, a technique that delves into the very core of your being, forging an unbreakable link between your feelings and the English language, reframing your emotions in English. This isn't merely a linguistic exercise. It's a profound act of self-integration. Our emotions are the most raw, unfiltered expressions of our inner world. They are inextricably linked to the way our brains process reality. By consciously choosing to describe, understand, and even feel your emotions in English, you're not just practicing vocabulary. You're helping your brain build the deepest, most powerful connections with the language. You are, quite literally, giving your emotional core an English voice. Think about it. When you feel a surge of frustration, joy, sadness, or surprise, your immediate internal reaction is likely in your native language. That internal monologue, that silent commentary on your feelings, happens in the language most familiar to your emotional self. The goal here is to gently, but persistently, shift that internal monologue into English. Whenever an emotion arises, no matter how fleeting, pause for a moment and articulate it to yourself in English. Don't just feel frustrated. Say internally, "I'm so frustrated right now because I can't find my keys." Don't just feel happy. Say, "I feel incredibly happy that I finished that project ahead of schedule." This process is remarkably powerful because it bypasses the intellectual, analytical part of your brain and taps directly into the limbic system, the emotional core. When you connect English directly to your feelings, you infuse the language with personal meaning and significance that no textbook can replicate. It stops being an academic subject and starts becoming a living, breathing part of your emotional reality. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Your brain starts to recognize English as the default language for processing your inner world. It's like you're tricking your brain, creating a new habit, a new default mode for emotional expression. This isn't just about labeling emotions. It's about understanding their nuances, describing their triggers, and articulating their impact, all within the English framework. Consider the spectrum of emotions. Joy. I'm over the moon about this news. I feel incredibly grateful for this opportunity. What a fantastic day. I'm absolutely beaming. Frustration. This situation is driving me crazy. I'm so annoyed with this technical glitch. I just can't seem to get this right. It's so frustrating. Sadness. I feel a bit down today. My heart aches for what happened. It's hard to shake off this melancholy. Surprise. I am absolutely stunned. That came out of nowhere. I'm shocked. What an unexpected turn of events. Anxiety. I'm feeling a knot in my stomach. My nerves are on edge. I can't stop worrying about X. By describing these intricate emotional states in English, you're not only building a rich vocabulary of feelings, but also practicing complex sentence structures in a personally relevant context. These aren't abstract phrases. They're direct expressions of your reality. To further strengthen this connection, consider incorporating affirmations in English. Positive self-talk is a powerful psychological tool, and when done in English, it serves a dual purpose. Saying things like, I am improving my English every single day, or I am confident in my ability to speak English fluently, or every challenge helps me grow stronger in English doesn't just boost your confidence. It actively trains your brain to switch into English automatically during moments of self-reflection and motivation. It creates a mental shortcut, a direct route for your inner voice to operate in English. This method works for grand, overwhelming emotions, but also for the smallest, most fleeting feelings. The joy of a perfect cup of coffee, the slight annoyance of a slow internet connection, the quiet satisfaction of completing a small task. Capture these moments. Instead of just good coffee, think, this coffee is exactly what I needed. It's absolutely perfect and makes me feel so content. These small, consistent internal shifts accumulate into a profound transformation. In the long run, your brain will stop needing to translate your feelings. English will become the natural language of your emotional landscape, making it easier to express yourself authentically and effortlessly in any English conversation. You'll feel less guarded, more open, and truly integrated with the language. So, next time you feel anything at all, whether it's elation, stress, or mild irritation, take a deep breath and try to articulate it honestly and vividly in English. Your English brain will thank you for this intimate connection. Hashtag, 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 the shadow theater, orchestrating your English reality. And now, for our fifth and final secret, a dynamic and immersive technique that will propel you from passive learning to active mastery, simulating English-only situations. The greatest fear for many English learners isn't making a mistake, it's the unknown. It's the anxiety of being thrown into a real-life situation where you must speak English, and your brain freezes, leaving you speechless and vulnerable. But what if you could conquer this fear, not by waiting for these situations to happen, but by actively creating them in a safe, judgment-free environment? This is the essence of simulating English-only situations. You are orchestrating your own shadow theater, a personal reality where English is the only language permitted. This isn't about rote memorization of dialogues. It's about creating mental, or even physical, role-playing scenarios that force your brain to react quickly, spontaneously, and naturally in English, just as you would in your native tongue. The power here lies in active anticipation and improvisation. You are not just recalling phrases. You are engaging your problem-solving skills, your creativity, and your ability to adapt, all within the English framework. It's like a mental dress rehearsal for the grand performance of real life. How do you do this? The possibilities are endless. 1. Everyday scenarios. Ordering food. Imagine you're at a busy restaurant. What would you say? I'd like to order the ______, please. Could I also get side of underscore underscore underscore? Is there anything you recommend? Practice variations, asking about ingredients, dietary restrictions, paying the bill. Shopping. Excuse me, where can I find the milk? Do you have this in a larger size? How much does this cost? Asking for directions. Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the nearest subway station? Is it far from here? Which way should I go? Making small talk. Imagine bumping into a friend or colleague. How was your weekend? Anything exciting happening? I heard about X. How was that? 2. Professional scenarios. Explaining your job. Practice describing what you do to someone who knows nothing about your field. I work as a underscore, which involves underscore. My main responsibilities are underscore. Giving a presentation. Even if it's just to your mirror, rehearse explaining a concept, presenting data, or proposing an idea. Dealing with a conflict. I understand your concern. However, I believe we should consider underscore. Perhaps we can find a compromise. 3. Emergency/unexpected scenarios. Lost phone/wallet. Oh no, I think I've lost my phone. Could you help me? I need to report a missing item. Travel mishap. My flight has been delayed. What are my options? I miss my connection. Unusual request. Someone asks you for something completely unexpected. How would you react? Politely decline or seek clarification? The beauty of simulation is that it removes the real-world pressure. If you get stuck, it's not a failure. It's a learning opportunity. That's the exact moment to pause, look up the word or phrase you needed, and then rerun the simulation. You are building real-life skills, filling knowledge gaps precisely when they become apparent, ensuring that when the real situation arises, you're prepared. And here's a powerful, almost clandestine hack that integrates seamlessly into your digital life. When you're scrolling through TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, or any other short video platform, don't just consume. Pause the video. Imagine you're the person in that video. What would you say? How would you react? What questions would you ask? See a funny prank? Oh my goodness, I can't believe they fell for that. That's hilarious, but I'd be so embarrassed. Watch someone demonstrating a skill? Wow, that's incredibly impressive. How long did that take to master? I wish I could do that. Listen to someone giving advice? That's a really insightful point. I need to remember that. I completely agree with what they're saying. This method is brilliant because it leverages content you already enjoy. It turns passive consumption into active English practice. It helps you stay focused, saves time by making your screen time productive, and most importantly, trains your brain to react spontaneously in English to a constantly changing stream of information. You're developing the crucial skill of on-the-spot English thinking. The more you engage in this shadow theater, the quicker your brain will get at processing information and formulating responses directly in English. You're building mental agility, enhancing your capacity for improvisation, and reinforcing those neural pathways. It's preparation without the pressure, practice without the penalty. Start orchestrating your English reality every single day. Your brain will adapt, and you'll find yourself approaching real conversations with a newfound confidence that feels utterly unshakable. And there you have it, brave seekers of fluency. 5 transformative methods, 5 hidden pathways to building your very own English brain. We've journeyed from forging unbreakable thought chains and activating your English autopilot to mastering the art of metaphor, reclaiming your emotional landscape, and orchestrating your own English reality through simulation. These aren't just tips, they're the keys to unlocking a fluency that feels not learned, but lived. Remember that constant internal translator? That mental prison that held your thoughts captive? These techniques are designed to dismantle it, brick by painful brick, replacing it with seamless, intuitive English. Your brain is a powerful machine, capable of incredible adaptation. It's time to program it for true mastery. Before you go, don't forget the invaluable tool we've prepared for your journey. The free PDF with the top 50 default responses that native speakers use every day. This resource is your secret weapon, designed to embed those instant, natural phrases deep within your English brain, helping you navigate conversations with unprecedented ease. You can download it directly from the link in the description below this video. And if you found these insights compelling, if you're ready to truly transform your English, then make sure you've joined our community. Hit that subscribe button right now. Don't miss out on future deep dives, advanced strategies, and more exclusive resources designed to accelerate your path to fluency. Your subscription is more than just a click. It's a declaration of your commitment to mastering English, and it ensures you're always equipped with the latest knowledge. Building an English brain is not a sprint. It's a profound journey of transformation. It requires consistency, curiosity, and the courage to challenge old habits. But with these powerful methods, you are now equipped with the tools to redefine your relationship with English. Keep practicing, keep exploring, and keep pushing the boundaries of what you thought was possible. We'll catch you in the next episode, where we'll continue to decode the secrets of true fluency. Until then, keep practicing your English brain. The path to seamless communication awaits.